Good morning. Good morning. Well, it is morning while I'm doing point of view today. It is such a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'm so thankful to God for blessing me to come to you with point of view. I haven't done a live point of view in quite a while. It has been some weeks since I've done one live, but we're live today, and I am so thankful to God. And today we're going to talk about tips for making the best of life. Making the best of life. We know that things happen every second of the day, favorable and not favorable in our lives. Many things happen, but we have to be able to endure it, be able to accept it for the time that it comes to us, and then be able to move forward from what happens with answers, with solutions, whatever we need in order to deal with what's happening in our lives right now. But the most important thing is that we do what we need to do in order to preserve ourselves. And if it comes to our loved ones, whatever we need to do to make the best of life as it stands right now, we must do that. So I found an article in lifehack.org, and many of you who have watched me and listened to me know that lifehack.org is one of my favorite sites for information, for help, and being able to relay these messages to you and be able to give help where help is needed, as well as with myself, be able to learn so many other things about life and about the solutions, about the problems, about coping with life, the reasons that the things happen in our lives at certain times, and how we can deal with them. And it really makes me feel good because God has blessed people to be able to write and to be able to research, study, and find ways to help us in the trials and tribulations that we have in the life that we're living. And not that we don't know, God blesses us with information to help others too. But my thing is, if there's somebody out there that can help you with what you have and add to what you have, then you need to go for it. And I go for it. I have no problem with studying someone else's work, reading their work. I might not use it all. And I think about Elder Davis when he tells us, he said, take it, listen to it, read it, and then an example he uses is uh, blow back the trash and take a drink of water. And so what you have to do is you accept that you can use, and then you might even store up that you can't use for that time because it might come up again. And if it's something that you just can't use, then maybe somebody else can use it, or if it's not beneficial for you and anybody else, then you discard that. Okay? So there's always a way to cope with life. We don't give up. We don't, as they say, throw in the towel, because there's always an answer to the question and a problem to a solution to the problem. Always, always, and don't forget it. So we'll go now into the topic of this is 20 ti- timeless tips to make the most out of life. And there's a quote here that's very interesting to me. It asks yourself what is really important and then have the wisdom and courage to build your life around the answer. Let me do that one more time. Ask yourself what is really important and then have the wisdom and courage to build your life around the answer. I think that's a good quote, and it's something to think about. And hey, exercise it. There's nothing wrong with letting someone else help you. And I find that it's really a sad thing, especially with many people that I've been around my whole life, they would rather not accept what you say, whether you could be as right can be, as Chris Tucker said, it don't get no righter. They, because of something, some block they have in their mind, maybe it could be envy, could be jealousy, whatever it is. Some people just don't want you to tell them something that will help them out. They would rather suffer than have you be right. And I think it's a shame, it's a shame, it's a shame. Even though you know something, and I'm repeating just a little bit of what I said in the beginning, you could know something, but still listen to what people have to say, because they could say something that you really need, and you can take that bit out of what they're saying, the whole conversation, the whole sentence. You could take that bit and build on it. So be open minded. Don't close your mind. Don't close your mind. I remember one time a situation happened, and so I said, you can go to the place. This was many years ago. It's probably been about 20 or 21 years ago. Go to the place that this happened, where this happened, and ask them to check the security footage. Rather than give me the credit, I should say, or acknowledge the fact that I suggested it and that they did solve the problem, get the problem solved. They found out who the perpetrator was, just as plain as day, on video. But never ever did the person acknowledge the fact that it was a suggestion of mine. Then another thing, especially when I was first started doing positively thinking on the radio here in Dallas, Texas, after I moved here, even though I did do radio and television in Grayson County in Denison and Sherman, Texas. When I came to Dallas, I started doing it here, and I was doing teaching about positivity. Positively Thinking was the name of the program. Do you know that these people would go all around me to get an answer somewhere else when I've already given the answer to the problems they were facing? And I'm sure you have gone across people like that, because you know what? There's a scripture in the Bible that mentions, and I think it's in Proverbs, I believe. It's in the Proverbs, I believe. So jealousy is as cruel as the grave. And we have to realize it. We have to acknowledge the fact. Our lives would be much better if we were more open-minded, we were more supportive and acknowledging of others. Because there's always somebody that's going to know way, 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 way much more than me. And I know that. I have no problem with it. There's always going to be somebody that knows way, 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 way much more than you. But what if you don't come across that person? Okay? And you come across me. I have the answer, but you're too jealous to accept the answer that I give. So many people fall into that cycle of, I know him and I know her. They can't tell me nothing. I grew up with them. Oh, I went to church with them. I went to school with them. They can't tell me nothing. And then you fall into a trap that you didn't have to fall into if you had just listened to a few words that that person had to say to you in the way of encouragement and support. Jealousy is as cruel as the grave. So we want to give some timeless tips on making the best out of life. So one thing you have to do is open up your mind. Open up your mind. Have an accepting mind in order to grab what you need to help you to have a good life and make the best of life. Make the best of your life. Make the best of your life. There's nothing wrong with somebody helping you. Nobody can live this life alone. Some help is coming from somewhere. Okay? And I'm repeating the song that I did yesterday in the Greater Gospel Temple webcast. No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man's joy is joy to me. Each man's grief is my own. We need one another, so I must defend each man as my brother, each man as my friend. Each man as my friend. We live in this world together. God put us here together to help each other. And if you have something that will help me, please let me know about it. If I have something that will help you, I'll be glad to share it with you. We need one another. Each man is my brother and each man is my friend. And that means woman too. Each man, woman, my brother, sister, each one is my friend. And I accept that. I acknowledge that. And I thank God for that. Now, I went way out there to get back to here talking about living and making the best of life. So the first step to making the most out of life is deciding what you hope to accomplish. What do you hope to accomplish in your life? Okay? Maybe you aspire to do something satisfying, some kind of work, that will satisfy you, that will allow you to add value to the world. Maybe you're looking for a fulfilling relationship that brings you joy. Maybe you want to become fit and healthy so you can be a positive example that your children can look up to. Maybe you're ready to eliminate the personal stress that is limiting your potential. Maybe. Hey, the following timeless tips, that means they're good for life throughout, okay, will help you accomplish all of these things. So, are you ready to make the most of your life? Let's do this thing, okay? Are you ready to make the most of your life? Let's do it, all right? Remember, have an open mind. Number one, creativity trumps book smarts every time. Creativity trumps book smarts every time. And here's a quote from Albert Einstein: imagination is more important than knowledge. My. Just think of what we would not have if it wasn't for somebody's imagination. All of the inventions, all the things that help us through this life. Okay? So the greatest minds are not filled with facts, but creativity. The ease of access in the information age has eliminated any need for people who fill their brains with facts that could be discovered via a simple internet search. Those who innovate will rise above those who regurgitate. Wow, how about that? Those who innovate will rise above those who regurgitate. Now, number two, the rules are meant to be broken. The rules are meant to be broken. If you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun. And that's Katharine Hepburn. That's a quote from her. So, why should you follow a list of rules without questioning their validity? Nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't, okay? Question the validity. Check them out. See if they check out, okay? Policies and procedures do have their place in large organizations where quality control and compliance must be considered. But you should make a habit of questioning everything. Rules are meant to be broken. How else do you think progress happens? Rules are meant to be broken. How else do you think progress happens? Now, healthy ways, okay? In healthy ways. Number three, you are inferior. to no one. Oh, this is right up my alley. You are inferior to no one. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. You understand that? No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And that's a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. Now, that person you feel inferior to, cut it out of your head. They are not luckier than you. This is the writer, and I did not give the name of the writer. Let me go back and find that, because you know how I do about things like this. I must give credit where credit is due. Okay, let me see who authored this. I'm trying to find it. Okay, J.C. Axe. J.C. Axe. It's a writer, a traveler, and a minimalist. All right. J.C. Axe. A-X-E. All right. Got J.C. his credit. Okay. Now. Oh, no. I went somewhere else. Somewhere else. Let me come back. It's not, I don't think it's JC, unless it's another one of his writings. Went to a different page. Totally different page. Now, okay, here we go. All right, let me get up here and see who the writer is. Okay, it's Daniel Wallin. Wallen. Okay, Daniel Wallin. Wallen. All right, excuse me, Daniel. All right, my computer just went to a totally different page on me. You are inferior to no one. And that's the third one. We're talking about making the best of life. Their brain is not more powerful than yours. They were not blessed with a skill set you couldn't develop. Do you really think successful people got where they are today by sheer luck? Do you really think that? Do you think they achieved their ambitious goals overnight without setbacks along the way? Michael Jordan was cut from the high school basketball team because he wasn't good enough. The Beatles were rejected from a studio label because they had no future in show business. Charlie Chaplin was rejected by Hollywood studios because he was too nonsensical to ever sell. J.K. Rowling, the author of the world famous Harry Potter series, encountered rejection after rejection for a full year before a publisher finally agreed to accept her work. We're talking about making the most of life. We're giving examples, okay? So the difference between winners and losers is simple. Winners keep moving forward no matter what trials they face, while losers give up at the drop of a hat. You don't lose until you quit. So don't quit. All right? You don't lose until you quit. So just don't quit. All right. Slow down and bask in the pleasure of living. Slow down and bask in the pleasure of living. Mahatma Gandhi quoted, "There is more to life than increasing its speed." So why are you in such a hurry all the time? And that's what I wonder about people. Why you're in such a hurry all the time. And then I told you one of the things with me is that people are always talking about, almost every time you see certain people, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. Okay, you have control of your life. And I know you want to do this and do that, and you want to please this one and please that one, but you need to pace yourself and have some time for yourself. You know? And so, anyway, you are in control of your own life. You are in control of your life. You are. Okay? So, why are you in such a hurry all the time? The world will not end if you have to stand in line at the grocery store. Driving like a maniac to save 2 minutes does not make any sense. So many people, if they could bring back time, they would be alive today because they were driving and rushing and still didn't make the destination that they intended to make because accidents and death caught them. Okay? So tugging your dog on its leash and fussing at it, hurry up, is inconsiderate since he spends so much of his day inside. All right? So exercise your patience muscles by choosing to stand in the longest line in the grocery store, leaving your house 10 minutes early so you can drive to work at a leisurely pace, and allowing your dog to explore the outside world to its heart's content. Taking your time will give you a much needed break from the constant hustle of the daily grind. Breathe deeply, quiet your inner chatter, and take a moment to simply be. That's all you have to do. How about that? I think I've done this piece before. It just seems so familiar. I've done so many. Number 5, upset by wrongdoing? Do something about it. That's one of my areas that I need to constantly work on. You know, people say little sarcastic things and do little mean things and aim different things at you. You've been there too. You might be there right now. And then you want, Lord, how can I deal with this? I don't want them to do it anymore. I don't want to appear mean. I don't want to cause, what is it, this dissension, or is that what it is? Confusion. I don't want to cause any of that. How am I going to deal with this? Sometimes you just have to deal with it head on and get it out of the way. And get it out of the way. Okay? And I was thinking there's one thing that I mentioned it to, I think, a couple of people. It happened, I think it was like maybe a week or two ago, when somebody said something, and I took it as being saying that I was not. Oh gosh. Well, anyway, it sounded a little. Uh, I don't know what I should say. Sarcastic. I don't even think it was that, but it just didn't hit me right. It pinched me. Okay, it stuck me, and I caught it right away. And I said, now I will get an opportunity to deal with this. And so I haven't dealt with it yet. But I said, Lord, help me. So if I'm wrong in the way I interpreted it and the way I took it, would you help me? Help me, God. And I'm serious about that because I don't like trouble. I don't like confusion, not any of that. But then if the situation, if it's like I took it, then I want to deal with it so that the person will know, don't do that. That I mean for them not to do it again. Hey, that's just it. So are you upset at a wrongdoing? Do something about it. Now don't go and do it like this preacher said one time. He said, God said, resist the devil and he'll flee from you. And I bopped him in the top of the head and he flee too. Don't do that, okay? Don't go bopping people in the top of the head. Deal with it civilly, okay? And if you can't talk to the person and reason with the person or persons, then you know what the Bible tells us to do. Then we have to go and get some witnesses and resolve the matter. And then if they don't hear, then there are other avenues that you can take, okay? But don't go bopping people in the top of the head. And please don't get bopped in the top of the head, okay? So we have to approach these things prayerfully, okay, and wisely. All right? So now we must all fear evil men. But there is another kind of evil which we fear most, and that is the indifference of good men. That's the Boondock Saints. Oh, I've seen that show, the Boondock Saints. I watched all of those. All of those. Complaining about the world's ill on Facebook and Twitter does nothing to bring about positive change. If you are truly upset by what you see as evil or wrong, do something about it. Join a movement or protest that you are passionate about. Call your congressman and tell him or her, okay, how you feel about upcoming votes. If you're not willing to take a stand, you have no right to complain. If you're not willing to take a stand, you have no right to complain, okay? But hey, it's a free world, so if you want to complain, complain anyway. You are you. That might be your way of doing something about it, all right? All right. Now, there are many ways to look at statements and look at life. Okay, so we're talking about making the most of life. Making the most of life. Making the most of life. Number 6, regret nothing and do all the things. Okay, regret nothing and do all the things. Lucille Ball says, I'd rather regret the things I've done than regret the things I haven't done. And you know, that is so true. That's with me too. Because I think about things that I haven't finished. I have songs that I haven't finished. I have books that I haven't finished. I have plays or dramas that I haven't finished. There are videos I haven't finished. There's so many things I have not finished. There are other things around me that I have not finished. I want to finish those. I don't want to regret at the end of my life that I didn't finish everything that I want to do. Now I know it's not possible because when I do transition into eternity, there will be something in my life left undone. But the major things that I want to complete, I don't want to regret not doing that. Okay? And if I don't get to complete everything, I want it set up so to my children and my grandchildren and even maybe great grandchildren can complete the work along with the work that God gives them to do in their lives and whatever their profession is, but they will be able to complete mine also in the mix of theirs. How about that? Okay? Talking to a stranger you're physically attracted to it's not an easy thing to do. It's really, really not. Writing a book or blog about that idea you can't get out of your head requires hard work and dedication. Yes, it does. Quitting your job to start a business you're passionate about does carry a risk. Yes. Neglecting to do these things carries a temporary benefit of comfort, but failing to act on your impulses could result in permanent regret. How many people do you know that regret not doing something and now they're not able to do it? Do you know people like that? Number 7, less thinking, more doing. We're talking about making the best of life. And I want to repeat that this is in lifehack.org. Lifehack.org. Less thinking, more doing. Napoleon Bonaparte quoted, take time to deliberate, but when the time for action has arrived, stop thinking and go in. Point. It's a great point. You should educate yourself and consider your options before you make any decisions. All right? Research it, study it, see what benefits it'll have for you, and see what will not benefit you in whatever you're thinking about. You have to weigh the pros and the cons and see, is this what I need to do? I need to know everything that I can about it before I step off into it, and then regret that I've stepped into it and then be so far into it that it damages a portion of my life. Okay? So you should educate yourself and consider your options before you make any decision. But don't become stuck in an eternal state of limbo. That's very important. Don't become stuck in an eternal state of limbo. The more you agonize over a decision, the more paralyzed you will become. Gather the most relevant information you need to proceed and get to work. All right? Now, you are not alone. Just remember this. You're not alone. You're not the only one in the world trying to decide what to do, how to do it, when to do it. You're not alone. Okay? Michael Jordan says, Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. Going back to no man is an island, no man stands alone. All right, and the author says, I have no doubt that you're a brilliant individual who is capable of accomplishing plenty, but your odds for success will be much greater if you harness the power of teamwork. Inquire, find somebody that's in whatever you are wanting to get into and get some tips from them. See, that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Don't be so selfish. Don't be so foolish. Don't be so envious that you won't ask somebody for help. Ask somebody for help. There could be somebody right next to you that can give you much of the help that you need, but because you have these little isms and what they call schisms and whatever, then you are too whatever to even ask the person for information or to help you out for advice or something like that. We need to get over that mess. It's a big old mess, okay? Now, seek a mentor who can provide you with guidance and direction. Make a friend on a level playing field so you can bounce ideas back and forth. It's very important. Be on a level playing field. Keep it open so you get their information and then you can bounce the ideas back and forth. And so ask him or her, or them, hey, well, that sounds really, really, really good. But what about this? Do you think this is possible? And this is what I have an idea of doing. Would that work with this? There's always a way, okay? Offer your support to a newcomer who you can be a mentor to, growing confidence in your abilities. It is easy to stagnate when you are alone. So surround yourself with people who will help you develop. Surround yourself with people who will help you develop. I have so many memories. Let me go on about things and just so many things. Okay. Number 9, view yourself from the eyes of another. View yourself from the eyes of another. Sometimes this is very hard for us to do. We don't want to look at ourselves and try to see what other people see in us uh, in a balanced way, okay? We might want to know about the good that people see in us, but do we want to know about the bad that they see in us, if they see any bad in us, okay? So sometimes you can't see yourself clearly until you see yourself through the eyes of others. That's Ellen DeGeneres. That's a quote by her. Anytime there's tension between you and another person, take a moment to look at the issue from their perspective. This simple action will offer a fresh perspective that will help you avoid pointless arguments over nothing. Makes so much sense. 10. Be grateful for what is right in front of you. You hear that? Be grateful for what is right in front of you. Ferris Bueller, we know that movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or something like that. Okay? Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, or you could miss it. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. They didn't put an if in there, okay? All right. So let's go on to this commentary. When is the last time you expressed gratitude for all of your blessings? When's the last time you did it, okay? Now, it's easy to take things for granted when we don't pay attention. I'm happy and grateful that every day is another opportunity to prove myself. That's what we should also think. I'm happy and grateful that another day is an opportunity for me to prove myself. I'm thankful that I have a roof over my head, food on my table, a family that loves me, friends who care about me, the opportunity to write articles like this is the author talking, an ability to express myself freely, a healthy body that can carry me throughout the world, a dog who greets me with bursting enthusiasm every time I walk in the door. That sounds like a many. The next time you're feeling down, grab a notebook, pull up a Word document, and make a list of the many things that you are grateful for. You might not realize it right this second, but you have a lot to be happy about. You have a a lot to be happy about. Number 11, stay true to your authentic self. And I tell people this so often. Stay authentic to yourself. And my thing is, you be you. You be the person that God made you to be. Don't try to be someone else. Be you. You are unique. You are special in the eyes of God. There's no one that can do you like you. All right? So stay true to your authentic self. William Shakespeare. You might know where I'm going with this. To thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. William Shakespeare. Your daily life is not a theatrical performance, so stop treating it like one. Okay? You wear all these masks depending on your current surroundings, and it has to be so very, very exhausting. To your own self be true, okay? Why do you feel like you have to put on such a charade, okay? Or charade? You know, I be watching these British movies and these movies from the Netherlands and all that. All right. But in America, we say charade. Okay. I cannot help it. I do get tickled at myself. Okay. You are amazing as you are, and don't let anyone, no one, not one person, not one soul tell you otherwise. Okay? Share your unique thoughts, your ideas, your quirks, and personality traits with the world without an ounce of shame. Without an ounce of shame. Because there's good in all of us. Just show that good. Show that good. Okay? 12. No one cares how much stuff you have. No one cares how much stuff you have. Will Smith says, we spend money that we do not have on things we do not need to impress people who do not care. And I will repeat that. We spend money that we do not have on things we do not need to impress people who do not care. No one is impressed by your bank account, your wardrobe, or elegant choice of home decor. Now, and I will say, and I understand where he's coming from, but there are many people who are impressed because they're impressed with him, okay, and his wife and his family, all right. But I understand where he's coming from, so that let's look at where he's coming from and what he means, okay. Now, sure, you might get some oohs and ahs the instant you show off your stuff, but do you think these people are so impressed that they think any better of you for it? Live with truth and integrity. Oh, that is so important. Live with truth and integrity. Show the world you care through your words, actions, and your behaviors. The size of your bank account and the style of your outfit impresses no one. And I go back to say, look at it the way the author is putting it out here, okay? Look at it the way he's putting it out here, okay? Your strength of character. You know what is impressive? That's your strength of character. Wow. Number 13. Don't merely expect more from life, demand more from life. And this is from Pink. You know, she's a singer. You can't move mountains by whispering at them. You can't move mountains by whispering at them. And I know where she's coming from, okay? In a biblical sense, we can. All we have to say, mountain be moved. And God said if we have enough faith, that mountain will move. But we know exactly what she said. She said you got to get out there and shout at it to be successful and have a good life. You can't move mountains by whispering at them. You got to let them know you mean business. I know what she means, okay? So while you're complaining about how unfair your situation is, other people are hustling hard in the direction of the better life they desire. See, I told you that's what she means. Wishing with all of your might will do nothing to improve your life. You can wish as hard as you want to, Okay? If you're not willing to back up your words with monumental action. There's a scripture that tells us that faith without works is dead. You can believe all you want to, but if you don't put some action to that belief, it's null and void, okay? Number 14. The things that are most challenging are often the things that prove to be most rewarding. Being a mom has made me so tired and so happy. That's Tina Fey. And I understand Tina Fey. So just because something is difficult doesn't mean it isn't worth doing. Raising a child is harder than any job you could imagine. So true. But it also comes with an immense amount of satisfaction. So true. I am one proud mother and grandmother. I am. Okay? Now, seeing a baby grow up to become a passionate and productive adult is a joyful experience for any mother or father. The same may be said for any ambitious goal that comes with a high cost in the form of time or effort. So many people have sacrificed so much to get to where they are today. So instead of getting caught up in the long hours and mental energy it takes to write a book, imagine how amazing you will feel when you have finished a project to share with the world. So instead of concerning yourself with the pouring sweat and rushed breath you experienced during a tough training session, imagine about how strong and confident you will feel when you're the proud owner of a new and improved body that turns heads and attracts compliments everywhere it goes. Focus on the end benefit to stay encouraged when the going gets tough. And I was saying to uh, in Waco, I was saying in the message that the Lord had given me, and it was an inspirational message because the theme was women of worship, and the focus was inspiration. I said, we're going to have problems, we're going to have trials and tribulations. You're going to get through them because God is going to take you through. So don't look at the problem, look through the problem and look through to the end where you will have the victory over whatever you're going through. Okay? Number 15, exercise your power of belief and crush it. Do or do not. There is no try. Okay? Do it or don't do it. There is no try. And that's Yoda said that. Yoda, you know Yoda is from, what is it, Star Wars? Yeah. I'll try is a weak statement that should never escape your lips. And we understand what people mean when they say, I'll try. But this author said it's something that should never escape your lips. Expressing that you will try to do something is like accepting failure before you even begin. Believe in yourself with every ounce of your being because you are capable of accomplishing anything you set your mind to do. I tell you that almost every time I do a webcast. You have the power, you can accomplish it. Make sure it's in God's will and go for it. Okay? Number 16, march to the beat of your own drum. John F. Kennedy said, conformity is the jailer, Jailer, of freedom and the enemy of growth. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. That's a quote by President John F. Kennedy. Forget about what other people are doing. Getting caught up in the rule book used by others neglects a key ingredient in the pursuit of success. You. All right? Just because something worked for another person does not guarantee it will work for you. Okay? So be an innovator. Make your own rules that are relevant for your unique knowledge, skills, and abilities. Do it, okay? Do it. Number 17, failure and pain are life's greatest teachers. Oprah Winfrey stated, Where there is no struggle, there is no strength. Where there is no struggle, there is no strength. And there is a little incentive to improve ourselves when life is nothing but rainbows, cute puppy dogs, candy drops, and sunshine. Have you ever learned much about yourself during the best of times? Struggles aren't fun when they're happening, but they tend to be followed by bitter pills that we need to swallow. How about that? I like that. Oh, I must say that again. Struggles aren't fun when they are happening, but they tend to be followed by bitter pills that we need to swallow. And we've all, maybe, I would say 99.9% of us have tasted, had some kind of pill, aspirin, some kind of pain pill, maybe an antibiotic or something like that, that tastes horrible, horrible, but yet it gets into our system and it defeats whatever that germ is, that disease, whatever is going on wrong in us. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but yet the results are magnificent, healing, regenerative. Okay? All right. Knowledge is useless without action. This is number 18. There are 20 of these. We're talking about making the best of life. Okay? Julius Caesar said, "It is better to create than to learn. Creating is the essence of life." It's better to create than to learn. Creating is the essence of life. Now, employers are typically more impressed with experience than education. What good is an impressive GPA if it isn't accompanied with high level performance? The best way to get better at any activity is to take action and do it. The best way to get better at any activity is to take action and do it. Who do you think will be better at writing? A person who spends 10 hours reading about writing or a person who spends 10 hours writing? Hey, so simple. And he said, the writer says, "I would be willing to wager my bank account on the second one." All right, number 19. The worst of times can bring out the best in people. Agatha Christie. It is a curious thought, but it is only when you see people looking ridiculous that you realize just how much you love them. All right? So, have you ever gone through a nasty scuffle with your partner that resulted in such anguish that you broke up for a whole day or two, but then you realized how empty you felt without this person in your life and reunited immediately? If so, you're aware of the fact that the worst times have a way of strengthening a relationship in the long haul. 20, and the last one for today. This is Point of View with Shirley Folk. 20. The world needs a special gift that only you can offer. The world needs the special gift that only you can offer. Remember in the beginning, I said you are unique. You are the only one that can be you, or who can be you. Whichever way is the proper way to say it. Okay? You are the only one that can be you. Nobody else can do you but you. Okay? So, uh, this is Ian and What a Girl Wants. Why are you trying so hard to fit in when you were born to stand out? Oh, I like it, I like it, I like it. Why are you trying so hard to fit in when you were born to stand out? My goodness. You are a special person, unlike anyone else on this planet. See, I told you that in the beginning, didn't I? Those personal quirks about yourself that you can't stand, You know what I'm talking about, okay? That booming laugh that you think is obnoxious, those freckles on your face that you find unappealing, or the way you can't resist doing a little dance in a restaurant booth if your favorite jam plays, okay? Booth in a restaurant booth if your favorite jam plays, okay? So, and he said that last one describes me, but I can't be the only one, okay? Now, your laugh is wonderful and full of feeling. Your freckles are gorgeous, and dancing is always a good idea. The world is full of people trying to fit in. So, the best way to stand out is to let your true personality shine. That's with your quirks and all, okay? So, there's nothing more beautiful than a person who is totally comfortable with who they are. Nothing more beautiful. That is so true. That is so true. And he goes on to say, I hope these timeless tips help you make the most out of life. Your life is what you make of it. So, he's challenging us to aim high and expect the best for ourselves. Reach for the stars because life is too short to do otherwise. Man, this is super today. This is super today. This is Point of View with Shirley Polk. 214-403-7563. The Point of View 1 at yahoo.com. That's the number one. The Point of View 1 at yahoo.com. You can reach me on any of the sites, the most of the, what is it, the Instagram, Twitter, the sites, Ustream, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can find what is it, the email. You can find it. Okay, so send me a message. Let me hear from you. If you have ideas for a topic, let me hear from you. But I do want to announce this. In September, I haven't set the date, there will be a Point of View forum, a live forum, and I am going to invite certain people to come and be on the panel for this forum. And we're going to talk about some things, okay? So just look for it. And if you feel like you have something that you want to hear us talk about, discuss, send it to me. Leave me a message, okay? Love you. Enjoy your day. It's a wonderful, wonderful day in the world. It's a wonderful day in this world. Take care. Take care, okay?